G'day, thanks for tuning in. Let's have a look and see the inside of this OZITO battery charger. So it's a 12 volt, 2 ampere charger for car batteries and also sort of a maintenance charger as well, just to keep batteries topped up if you store them for a long time. So it does have a couple of different modes. So the normal charge, I think that's a winter mode, so just keeping the battery topped up over winter if it's not being used. And I think it's like a half charge mode, so again, just sort of to keep it maintained. Really all it's got up the front, it just has this one button that's got the mode input, and then it just shows you the status of the battery. I think that's pretty much it to it. It's just a hard plastic shell as expected. It's got a power cord on one side, so AC coming in, it'll do its magic, and then it's got the 12 volt output and just nice alligator clips to clip onto battery terminals. Just looks like it's got 6 screws. There looks like posi drive actually, so we'll unscrew those and have a dig in there. So that's just the one half of the case that just sort of came out. Interesting, it's got these long bits here. I wonder, more extended sort of standoffs. Okay, so these guys are actually just going to push the PCB down because it doesn't, yeah, okay, it's not actually even secured in there. So the circuit board is not screwed in there at all. It just gets held down by the pressure of the upper case pushing down onto the bottom case. I thought these screws would stay in, but they don't really want to. And I seem to have lost one already. Oh, just here, okay. Yeah, so again, just half that sort of clamshell, injection molded, ABS, nice markings on there. And you can actually, at the right light, you can actually see the machining of the mold that would have transferred onto this. So it looks like a really nice small, probably about a 3mm size bit that was used to go around to actually machine that mold. Alright, and then the actual case, well, within the actual case, alright, so that PCB just comes loose, but let's have a look at this side first. So, got the AC coming in, it's just seems to be going through there. It's got a couple of, I think that's just a common mode choke, 2 of them. So really that just filters any sort of noise coming through the power, so usually high frequency noise that comes in. It's got a capacitor in between, should have a screwdriver, it's got a capacitor in between a big transformer there, so that's just going to be a step down transformer, so it's going to be taking that 240 volts coming in, stepping it down to, I assume, 12 volts to then charge this out, or charge whatever's at the end of it. That here's got to be a MOSFET. It's got markings on it, F10N65. So what that'll do is the MOSFET will just basically switch and turn on and off really quickly, step down the voltage and supply the DC side. I'll take this out and you can have a little bit of a look. So I think this here actually just looks like a bridge rectifier. So it's kind of all in one bit, and it's got 4 pins going into it. So really what that'll be is it just has diodes in there, and those diodes basically just let the voltage just pass in one way, so, or the current go one way. So there's alternating current coming in, so it's a sinusoidal way, goes positive, negative, and these diodes will just be arranged in such a way to basically chop off all of the negative. And depending on the configuration, if it's a half bridge or full bridge rectifier, it'll then sort of invert that voltage and feed it up to sort of all in the positive, so the DC can then have that direct current. As a result of that, it's got a couple of capacitors on the side just to filter that out, because it's going to be very uneven if it's just on and off or getting switched. So the capacitor will then just sort of charge and discharge slower to filter out that voltage, or those spikes in the current actually. And again, the transformer will just step down that voltage, so it'll have a primary side winding and a secondary side winding, so that secondary side winding will just be a much lower voltage, so less turns around it, and a lower voltage to actually then step it down to 12 volts. A couple of other smaller capacitors on the way, and then just got a couple of diodes there. So those diodes are just gonna make sure that the power flows only in one way. So this way physically, that dot, sorry, that silver line there is just the way the current can flow. And then there's a little component down here. So worth noting as well, actually, it's really nice to see we've got this little split here in the PCB. So this is the AC side and this is the DC side. And that's just sort of done there to isolate all the components, so keep all of the high voltage AC stuff, or high voltage side here, and then you got the DC side there. And again, that transformer will just step down the voltage as well, so it is lower voltage on the other side. But there's a little cutout here, and then we've got a component going across of that. So I think that's going to be some sort of an optocoupler. Basically, it just has an LED on one side that transmits and a receiver on the other side, reads that light, turns it into voltage. So basically, I think that will just be measuring the voltage. So it should actually go to a pin on the transformer, if that's what it is. So this track, and yeah, I think that's, yeah, so it does. So I assume this would come onto the primary side. Yeah, so onto the primary side of the transformer, and then it would go through this. The LED would emit a certain light. That light would be picked up on the other side and correspond to a certain voltage. So the way that's done, the reason that's there, sorry, is just to monitor the voltage sort of on the AC side without actually having a physical connection between the two. Although there is actually a physical connection within the component, there is not. There's just light being transmitted. So since I flipped this over, actually kind of on the other side, the main thing is we've got a push button here. So that was the, oh sorry, on this side, that was the button that corresponds to this mode button here, which is actually just a cutout into that injection molded bit. So it just sort of flexes a little bit, that tab, and it can sort of push down. And then we've got sort of an array of LEDs that correspond to the different modes and different bits and pieces here. So those LEDs are really small and tiny, but just here, a few of them together. Then we've got a couple of other smaller controllers. So I'd assume one of them would sort of be the brain box, so probably the bigger one, doing all the actual charge control to it. And then the smaller one are probably going to just be operational amplifiers. So I think actually this side is probably going to be 12 volts because that's what the output is, or probably 14 volts actually, depending on what the charger works and what sort of the battery is. Might even say it. Output just says 12 volts, 2 amps. So although that does say 12 volts, I would assume that is a bit higher to actually charge that 12 volt battery. So the secondary side will actually, let's just say about 14 volts, will probably be 14 volts. But some of these components would work at a lower voltage, most likely. So I'd assume 3.3 volts, that's sort of the standard voltage for these microcontrollers. So these operational amplifiers, if that's what they are, or there's something else maybe that steps down the voltage just from 12 volts or 14 volts to maybe 3.3 volts for that. And same as the LEDs, they're probably likely a lower voltage, so they'll have a bunch of resistors there to just limit that current within them. So it's actually a pretty nice board. It's really a one-sided board. There's nothing really on this side, just these big components, but everything's soldered on this side here. And then this side just has a bunch of surface mount components. So quite neatly done. The other thing to note, I guess, is just this elastic. So it sort of seems like a Friday afternoon job. I just squirted all over the place. Although it does sort of hold, I guess, the main components that you wanted to. So the thing I didn't mention before, this is just an output inductor. So basically that inductor is just there because of the switch mode power supply. So because of the MOSFET here, it's just there to filter out that voltage. And it sort of acts as a little bit of a power store, just again, to smooth everything out. But this elastic sort of starts over with the inductor, so it does hold it in place, and then goes here past the big transformer, which is good for that to be held in place, but it is soldered on multiple spots, and it is quite big, so I don't think that's really going to move around. And then these little capacitors, although they are all a bit wonky and sideways, they're kind of held in place all right, so that's not really going to move around too much. A little bit over the rectifier, and then sort of this big capacitor here as well, and a couple more smaller ones there. And then these ones here just didn't really get any love. I guess that's fine, like they're not, this might be thrown around or, you know, used in a toolbox or whatever, but probably not around too much. These pins just aren't clipped all the way down on that capacitor there, so just clip that down a little bit while I'm at it. And actually the way that this rectifier was just soldered in place, you can see all the pins were actually bent. Oh no, there's just solder on them. There's actually solder on it, so it was dipped. So that's why usually the practice is, once you solder this in place, you clip it. I don't actually even have these side cutters. You're meant to have flush cutters. These are, sorry, side cutters, not flush cutters. Just to kind of clip all those components down, just to prevent any sort of contacts being able to be made. And shorts in places you don't want shorts. But that's not what this is about. I don't need to pick it completely apart. It's good enough, it'll do the job just fine. And again, this sort of then just mounts right back into its little, on the four corners, it just has little tabs. It doesn't secure in place, as I said. I mean, it doesn't screw in place. It's just held down by these tabs. So that's pretty much all there is, again, to this. Just a simple PCB inside, a high voltage side, low voltage side, and a little bit of brains. Thanks for watching, appreciate it. If you did like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to see more of this sort of stuff, then consider subscribing. So thanks very much and have a good one.